everybody. Welcome to the Gardener's Workshop live shopping show. It is your friend Lisa Mason Ziegler, and this is the flower arranging runway, friends. So there's a lot of fun stuff's going to be happening here shortly. So welcome to the show today, and we have a great one lined up. It's going to be easy flower arranging with my sis, Suzanne. We have some fabulous gift ideas for Mother's Day. And friends, the cool flowers are coming in from the field. We have beautiful flowers to show and share with you. And as always, I'm doing a drawing for a giveaway to one lucky live viewer. And remember, folks, I am going to do a little live Q&A wrap-up at the very end of the show. So if you have a question, then you can just put in the comments at Lisa and then type your question, and the team will gather all those up and then pick a couple for me to actually address at the end of the show. Now, before we get started, folks, I am really asking a big favor. If you hit the share button down on the bottom of the app to let your friends know that you're here and that we're live, and invite them to come on over. So we'd really love to do that. So let's just get some of this housekeeping out of the way. We have opened the doors to my in-person once a year live on the farm learning experience. It's called Lisa's Day of Flower Farming. And y'all, it's May 18th. And it's here in Newport News, Virginia. And this is exclusive in person, meaning it's not being recorded to broadcast later or to make it available. And it includes lots of learning in the morning with lectures. And then we're going to eat lunch. We're going to have hands-on demos. We're going to have a tour of my garden. We're going to do Q&As. I mean, you're not going to leave here with any question that's not answered, right? And then we're going to all run up 4 miles from the farm to our warehouse where you can shop, get a tour there, and we'll do one big wrap up. And friends, some tidbits that we hadn't really made public up until now is the people that are attending are actually going to have the opportunity to cut some flowers in the garden. We're going to have make and take bouquets, meaning we're going to make bouquets for you and you can take yours home. And I'm giving a little handful of my hellebore babies for you to take home and grow up. That's kind of how that was a big start for me, having hellebores. They're a huge filler and cash crop for us. And I can't wait to share a generation with those folks. And it is limited seating. We've capped it at 35. So it's going to be a nice group of people. Now, back to some little housekeeping stuff.
Go to our website and search Lisa.
Oh, forgot to tell you how you could get it, right? Sorry. Thank you, sister. So to be able to register or to learn more, you have to go to our website, thegardenersworkshop.com, and you can just put Lisa in the search bar at the top, and that'll take you right to the page. Thank you, sis. So, first, a little bit of housekeeping. So we want you to be sure that you include and or update your email and phone number. Just looking for typos, y'all. Be sure that they're correct in case we need to reach out to you about your shipment. And remember, here inside the app, seed-only orders ship for free, right? And we have a cap on product shipping. You can buy as many products as you want, and the shipping is only $9.95. And we do ship to all 50 of the United States. Now, if you guys are watching us through social media, we are so glad that you've dropped in. But we want you to know that we have a phone app, and there are so many more features that you can have a minute right now. You can pop over to your phone's app store, search Gardener's Workshop, download it. It is totally free, and get it and come back and join us because there's amazing features. You can build a favorites list, which is really useful. The replay function, you can go back and watch any video. You can go back to a video from last summer and skip right down to where the seeds are, hit it, and the video pops to where the seeds start, and you can watch the live harvest if you're wondering what I was harvesting in June or July or August or whenever. That's a super great hack. And then also, the viewers are always having a lively conversation inside the app while the show is going on. And we'd love for you to be able to be a part of that. Now, at every show, we always sell out of something that's that we're offering. And when that happens, if you go to that product and it says out of stock, right underneath it'll say get notified. If you want to be dinged when that product is put back in stock, which is oftentimes in the works as the show is happening, the team is bringing over stock from our big website. That's all that means. And I would definitely recommend you do that, particularly if it's an item that's on special. And lastly, y'all, we just love it when our students identify themselves as the TGW family by posting the sunflower emoji in the comments. That is just the very, very best. That just makes our heart sing, right? So folks, y'all know how I love giving stuff away, and y'all have let us know that the $25 store credit is a favorite. I mean, why would it not be, right? I mean, this way you can purchase anything you want. So to get on the list that we're going to pull from at the end of the show, hit the buy button that Susie has brought up. You're not buying anything, y'all. That just puts you on the list. And I'll be giving away $25 store credit to one lucky viewer. And, that'll be a lot of fun. Now, friends, you know that today is all about moms and Mother's Day. So Susie Q and I have a mom story to share. That's our mom. And can we do this without crying? Golly day.
Try.
Yeah, golly day. So Jessie, who produces our show, asked us to have mama stories, right? So I'm going to tell a little short story, and then Suzanne will tell hers. My little short story is kind of funny. So Suzanne is younger than me, 4 years younger. And I've kind of hired and carried Suzanne to every job I ever had, and then, of course, into flower farming 25 years ago. But when I hired her for the first job when I worked at Denby Animal Hospital, we were desperate for help. And I called and said, sister, you have to come, can you help? And that afternoon the phone rings and it's my mother calling me. And she said, if you hire your sister, you just have to promise me one thing. And I said, what's that? She said, you're not going to pick on her. Because, I was the older sister, y'all. My brother picked on me. I picked on my sister. And I just want to give hope to all the parents that have kids that bicker like crazy as kids, because that's what we did. All three of us could not be any closer together now as adults, and we all work together. So there's the hope story.
And the exact words my mother used were, you can't hit her.
So, I did punch her occasionally when we were little and growing up. So all right, here we go. I don't know what this is.
You all know that Lisa calls me sister, so I just thought this was funny. This is a picture of my mom. My mom is on the end here. This is her mother, her twin sister, and then this is their older sister. And guess what they called her? Sister. And she was our aunt sister, so
Yeah,
I'm carrying on the sister name. But my funny story about mom is I have so many. And I won't get into the ones that are a little dark for Lisa. But one thing my mom and I had in common was we loved to shop.
Oh my
Lisa
gosh.
is not a shopper. Mom and I would shop. And when we were little, we didn't eat out much. I mean, it was a real treat to go out to eat. But when Mama and I would shop, we'd go to lunch. But then Aunt Margie, her twin sister, would visit from Maryland. And anybody that's from around here knows that the Pottery Factory used to be the place to go.
On the East Coast.
On the East Coast, it was huge. So the Pottery Factory it seemed miles and miles of buildings, but a few of the buildings had dirt floors. You could get the best deals in the dirt floor part of the buildings. Glassware, dried flowers, just anything. And then it kind of gradually got nicer and nicer. And at the end, they had a Lenox outlet where you could get Lenox fine china. And we would love to go to the factory. And when Aunt Margie would come, we would all go spend the day shopping. Couldn't figure out how we were getting everything in our car to bring it home. And then Aunt Margie had to try to fit it in her car with her luggage and her husband to get it to Maryland. So that was the funnest. But what I'm saying to you guys is if your mom is still here, do something special with her. We miss our mom. A lot of great memories.
Okay.
Okay.
On to the tip of the day, y'all. So, yeah, moms are pretty special, and you don't realize it when you're a young adult or a kid. And, yeah, so moms are great. All right, so Suzanne is going to take us into easy arranging and some tips of the day.
Okay.
Can I interrupt you for just a a second?
Sure.
I think it's kind of cool. People are saying where they're from. We have people from Vermont all the way down to Florida, California, Hawaii, Alaska, Montana,
Awesome.
Canada, Oklahoma.
Can you all hear that? Susie was just saying how awesome it is. Everybody's saying where they're from, and we have people from all over the country, and we so appreciate you guys being here. All right, so now we're going to talk a little bit about flower arranging. And confession, I'm not really a flower arranger, but we sell a lot of products that make it easy for anybody to arrange flowers. And so there's some tips that Jessie has wanted me to point out, and that is, first of all, flowers are beautiful. You really can't mess it up, so just arrange what you like. We want to encourage you to practice arranging. You can always get better if you just keep on working at it. Check the angles. Is this arrangement going to go against a wall, or is it going to be on a table? So if it's on a table, it has to be beautiful from all sides. If it's against the wall, just the front. So just pay attention to where it's going. Don't forget to use greenery. Greenery makes everything look better. And I'm lacking that a little bit today. We do have some in the show, but I didn't steal any of it from my arranging. Clean containers. We always tell people, if you're not willing to drink water out of a container, then do not put your flowers in it. The bacteria is really, really bad for flowers, and it starts their downturn immediately when you put them in that dirty container. Strip your flowers. You want to strip all of the greenery off of the stem if the stem is going to be in the water. So no greenery in your water. That really makes it get yucky quick. Flower food is the way to help keep your water cleaner. So be sure to always use flower food. Your flowers benefit from it, and that's retail flowers and especially garden flowers. It really does help. Change your water often. We usually tell you to change it every few days, and if you give a little trim to the end of your stems, you can make it last even longer. Lisa's mother-in-law, Ruby, used to have flowers on her table, and every day she would change the water and snip a little bit off, and that tell you Ruby could make flowers last longer than anybody. It really does work. Sunlight. You never want to put a cut flower in direct sunlight. That really does great for them when they're on their stem, but once they're cut, you do not want to put them in the sunlight. So get them away from those windows. And then it's always a good idea that if a flower fades in your arrangement, just trim it off. And there may be more flowers on that stem that still look good. So just give it a little whack, a little haircut, and it'll be good to go. So first up, we have the Shear and Pouch Kit that we use. And I have several here. I have just a gigantic arrangement of shears. So this is what the shears look like new. And we love these shears because they have this spring in the middle. They're just really easy on your hands. We used to use big Felcos that are heavier and a little harder to push. These stay sharp. They're bonsai shears, and we love them. So these are Lisa's shears. I can tell because there's an L on it. And then we have our pouch, which is great because it has a clip that goes right on your pocket. And I had mine on my pocket before I pulled it off. These are Lisa's. She's had hers the longest. This is mine. And you just put this right on the pocket of your jeans. And it means you never lose your shears. You always know where they are when you're ready to cut. And Lisa and I can almost draw it like a cowboy in a Western. So the Shear and Pouch Kit, we will send you new ones and not the old used ones.
That's a mama favorite, I would say.
Yes, this is any mom's favorite. And whenever we have these at events for our employees where we have door prizes, the shears always go first. So just know, even we love them, love them, love them. $55.95 for the shear and the pouch. They're available separately in the app. And just know that anybody, especially a mom, is really going to love that. The other thing we have that's great, especially if you have roses, is our stem stripper. You simply stick the stem in and just pull it down, and it strips off all the leaves or any of those thorns that are on roses. And this is perfect if you have a mom that loves to get roses as gifts or has roses growing in her garden. The stem stripper is $19.95. So next up we have the quick dip, and I need those flowers.
Get 'em.
So this is the Miracle Quick Dip. And the Quick Dip is used to resurrect flowers. This is what florists use when they bring flowers in the back door. But what we want to show you is that this morning when we were going through flowers, a few of them were left out of the water. And look at this.
The stems didn't get pushed down.
Yep, the stems didn't get pushed down. So we just simply put them in some water with some Quick Dip and look at them.
Honestly, y'all.
I mean, this happened within 30 minutes and it was just incredible. So these guys are all now happy and perky. So the way the Quick Dip works is that it opens up the stem and lets the water go up to the bloom. So the Quick Dip, the way we recommend and the way they suggest you use it is you just put it in a little container, and you can keep this container and use it over and over, but I would say you want to make sure that it's up where children and animals can't get it and make sure it's clearly marked. But we put a little bit in here, take the top off, you cut the stem, you quick dip it in the solution, then you take it out, and then you put it in flower food. Now the ones that we resurrected this morning, we did that the way that one of our arranging friends suggested, and she just puts a splash in her arrangements to keep them fresh the whole time that they're at an event. So we just put a splash in the water, and that's what resurrected those flowers. So this is great to have on hand. Nobody plans to leave a flower out of water, so this is like your emergency fire extinguisher. But the Quick Dip is $17.95. Get some to keep on hand. Great gift for your mom, especially if she likes to get flowers. Next up, we're going to go through how we do flower food and flower conditioning here on the farm. Now, these are CVBN tabs. This is a little chlorine tab. We put it in every bucket on the farm that we take out to harvest, and 1 tablet to a gallon of water. 80 of these come in a little bottle, and it keeps the bacteria from happening when you put those stems in the water. There are the dirty dozen flowers that secrete stuff that actually are harmful to them. I call them the little suicide flowers. So it really makes the water yucky, and they just really do not like it like that. This will prevent that from happening. The first drink they get is going to be perfectly clean water, and it'll help keep the water clean. Your flowers want to be in there for at least 4 hours, but up to 72 hours. We generally would leave them overnight in this. The next day, we would arrange them to go in a bouquet or to the florist, and they would be moved to their next product. So the CVBN tabs, 1 bottle is $18.95, 2 is $29.95, and it really helps your flowers last longer. Next up, which is this? This is the flower. This is the flower. So next up we have the flower food, and that is where we would normally take the flowers next after the CVBN tab. They would get flower food to go home with the end customer. Flower food in your water also helps prevent that bacteria from growing in your water, and it has stuff in it that makes your flowers continue to open and to be happy. So flower food really does work. Garden flowers, it works the best. Retail flowers, it works after you get those stems opened up so it can drink water, and that would mean cutting your retail flowers using the Quick Dip and then putting flower food in the water.
What's a retail flower?
A retail flower is anything you buy from a grocery store, not from a local person that has grown it. So it's something that came in a florist's back door in a box. They have to take it out, cut it, they put it in Quick Dip or some solution like that, and then rehydrate it.
They're stressed.
They're stressed. They're not very happy when they do that, and then they get reconstituted. And there are also certain varieties that are bred to go without water for a long period of time. So their stems get clogged. So you want to cut a good amount off those stems if possible, put them in the Quick Dip, and then give them flower food, and they'll last longer and be happier for it. Yes, ma'am.
You want to mention if they hear loud noises during the show that we have Freedom flying over?
Oh, we do have Freedom flying over us. We are close to several airports, and we do have Freedom flying by if you hear an airplane go by. So next up we have the bulb flower food. Same thing. Anything that comes from a bulb, a daffodil, a dahlia, anything that comes from a tube or a bulb will benefit from this flower food. This has regular flower food in it, plus a hormone that prevents the leaves of those bulb flowers from going yellow. So this can work for any flower. If you have a mixed bouquet and it has a few bulb flowers in it, you want to use this food. It will not hurt regular flowers. It just has extra hormone to help those flowers that have come from a bulb. So the flower food for bulb, 50 pack of quarts, quart size is $11.95 and 100 is $19.95. And always great to have some on hand, especially if you use any of those bulb flowers. So next up on our little journey of our flowers from the CVBN tab to either the end customer with the flower food, or we'd send them to the florist, right? Or a customer that's going to reuse them for an event. And what we use when we do that is the holding solution tea bags. This keeps the water clean, but it doesn't have anything in it to make the flowers move along. So anything that's in tight bud, it's not going to promote them from opening, so that when they get to the florist or your event person, they're going to have time to sit on them for a little bit before they have to use them. And when you want them to move along, you put them in flower food or put them in a warm area and they will move along. So this keeps the water clean and lets you sit on them a little bit longer. So the small tea bags is 100 count each. The small tea bags is for a half a gallon, and they're $18.95 for, how many are in here? 100 of them. And then we also have the large tea bags, and this is also 100, and this is for the gallon. So, and the other benefit to this is when you take flowers to your florist, they're going to see this tea bag. You just put this right in the water, and it's just like a tea bag you use for your tea. They're going to see the container after all of the stuff has, been dissolved out, and know that you've put something in your flowers to help them last longer, and they'll appreciate that. All right, the large tea bags were $36.95, and the small tea bags are $18.95. All right, next up we have our vase brush. We love this vase brush. It's a perfect gift. We sell so many of these during shows when we used to have in-person shows, because everybody has a use for these. We use this for vases, hummingbird feeders, CPACs, sleeping apparatuses, what else? Humidifiers. There's just anything you can't get down into to clean, this is going to work. So this would go down in our vase to get to all those spots you can't reach, but it also bends so it can go into any shape or space you need to be able to clean, and you just rinse it off and hang it up to dry afterwards. The vase brush is $12.95. Again, perfect gift. Next up we have the Easy Arranger. So this is the Easy Arranger, and this is what it looks like. It's a cute little gifty, and you just simply bend it, just like the instructions show her here, bending it to go on top of your vase. So here is a vase that I've already started, and you can see how it just makes the flowers stand up. This is a small amount of flowers, and it makes it look great, but see, I've left this open so you can see. You just simply take a flower, this is kind of a shorty, just take the flower and put it in it. It holds it wherever you wanted it to be. So this is great for garden flowers, but if you have a little bouquet from the grocery store, people have difficulty when they get home knowing what to do with it. So this is the perfect gift, is to give a bouquet of flowers and a little Easy Arranger, and just make sure they know not to throw it away afterwards. The Easy Arranger single pack is $8.95, 2 packs $15.50, 3 packs $21.50. What a great gift to give someone.
They're packaged individually, right? They're
Yes,
not
so you
they're
can
great.
give them to 3 different people.
Right.
Yes, perfect. So next up we have the mason jar. Yeah, I need the flowers. So this is our mason jar frog. So this is a standard size mason jar lid, and it can work with any mason jar that has the standard size lid. We also have a bigger one, and as long as it has the standard size lid, it will work. So this is the bronze one, and it's really simple. I'm going to cut some of these off a little shorter. And again, they stay in place wherever you put them. So you can take a long stem, a short stem, whatever you want, and it makes it stand up perfectly in place.
I mean, just think about if that opening didn't have that.
Yeah,
they'd be all flopping
yeah,
over.
they'd be all flopping over. So you can take any flower, and don't forget, we talked about greenery, that every arrangement needs a little greenery. You have greenery in your yard. If you have a shrub, especially if it's for an event, anything will last for a few hours or a day. Some shrubs can last weeks. So don't forget to check your yard and to use the greenery in your yard for your arrangements. So this is the bronze. Single is $8.95, 2 pack $15.50, 3 packs $21.50. Again, they're individually wrapped. You could give them to 3 different people. And then we also have it in the more relaxed chicken wire, if you're more into that country feel, and it is also the same price. So the chicken wire or the bronze, Beautiful, will fit any mason jar that has the standard lid. All right, so next up we have the Oasis clear tape. So this is the Oasis tape. And what is this? 60 yards is $8.95. And what this does is it takes any container and you can make a frog on top. So you see I just made a little checkerboard, I don't know if you can tell there, a little checkerboard arrangement. And again, it will hold flowers up where you want them to. This needs to be cut a little bit shorter. And when I see this being used by florists, they stack them. So let me have some more of these, sister. How'd they get rubber banded? Let's get the rubber band off there. So we're just going to take a few more of these and cut them.
Sorrenthy, isn't
And
it?
this is Sorrenthy, yes, beautiful. And you just simply, shorter's always better in short containers. And you just take them and stack them. And you can see how beautiful this is going to be once you get these all in there. I'm making a pile on the floor over here for later. But you just simply stack these in and it will take just a few flowers. Again, don't forget to check your yard and what flowers you have in your yard. And it just makes a beautiful little arrangement. If this didn't have the little grid in there, these would all just lay over, or you would need a large amount of flowers to make them stand up straight. So this is the Oasis tape. It's $8.95, and it's just a super simple way to take any container that you have and make it beautiful. So next up, I'm going to use these on the next container too. So next up we have our floral netting. Comes in a package like this, and it's, let's see, it's 12 inches by 48 inches. That's pretty good size. So you just cut a big square, and it's pretty easy to cut with a heavy-duty pair of scissors or a snip, and you just make it into a ball, and it gets stuffed in a crock. Works better without clear containers. It needs to be a solid container. And again, you take your tall stem and you stick it through there, and it's going to hold it up. So you can make a really big arrangement. We usually use sunflowers. Lisa uses this for church. This is her church container. And but I mean, you can take huge stems even.
And it makes a few flowers go further,
It does,
right?
it does. And so you're just going to have, the more greenery you put in, the better. But these are beautiful green themselves. But it just really works to take any crock or any container, put a little ball in there, and stick your flowers in. So the floral netting is only $7.95. And you know, another great gift is to get all these different flower arranging things and make a little, you know, little basket for your mom. Okay, next up we have the Stay Put candle grips. We've sold these for years. They work great. They come in an 8-pack, and they're like a little sponge, and they're grippy on one side. And we simply put them on the top of our Dollar Tree beautiful glass candle holder. And you just simply push your candle in there, and it stays. And it is reusable over and over. If you have big candles, you just put 3 or 4 around the edge and push it down, and it will lock it into place and hold it. So the Stay Put candle grips are $8.95. Another great gift if you have a mom that likes to use candles on her table. So next up we have this precious little candle vase. It comes in a 2-pack. And it's these little teeny vases that fit over your candle. And I've put some water in this one. This came off the sweet peas that we're going to be showing you later, but I just loved it, so I stuck it in there because it's so cute. So you slip this over there.
And it's acrylic, right? Or
yeah, it's plastic. And then you can take, I went out and looked. We had some precious little violas, little violets growing just wild in the yard, and they'd already all bloomed out, so we couldn't do that. So we're going to go with some sweet peas. And you just have to, snapdragons, and you just have to kind of cut them short to get them down in there. And this may have been too short, but any little flower, you just slide in these little holes, and then you have like an instant little arrangement on your table. And it's the perfect mom gift, girlfriend gift, and you can see it's just beautiful. I mean,
instantly.
You could, like 5 flowers, and you could have a beautiful bouquet on your table. So the Stay Put, the candle ring vase 2-pack is $14.95, and that is 2 of these in one container. So this would be one set is how we're selling those. And just really encourage you to get those as gifts because they are just precious. All right, next up we have the craft sleeves. I'll just put them all up here and I'll talk about each one. So the craft sleeves are what we use to put our flowers in. This really helps showcase your flowers and protect them, especially if you're selling your bouquets at farmers markets or anywhere. It just protects your flowers. So this is the large one. And let's see, which one did we have up first? Okay, so we have the 12-inch up first. And we want to encourage you to let the kids decorate these up for Mother's Day or for any occasion. It's perfect. We love to send them down to the school down the street, have kids draw on them, and then if you take flowers to a nursing home or any place, hospital where people need a little pick-me-up, it means even more when they're personalized. So the craft 12-inch 10-pack is $5.25, a 50-pack is $21.95. Then this is the big one. That's what we just had the flowers in. This is the 20-inch, and it is 10-pack is $6.25, 50-pack is $24.95. Then we also have the clear ones. The clear ones, we used to have grocery stores that required clear sleeves, but you really can see the flowers through them a lot better, so it just depends on how you feel about plastic versus paper. 50-pack is $29.95, and again, it really protects your flowers, and I think we can probably take this down now. I could do the last one without this. We'll get that out of the way because I've got something great to show you. So today we have a special gift item, and that's our TGW tote and t-shirt. So funny, my daughter was taking our grandson to the other grandmothers. She said, Mom, I just saw somebody crossing the street with one of your shirts on, and here it is. This is our TGW t-shirt, and on the back, she said, Mom, I saw your legs on someone's back. So mine are over here at the end. I didn't know we were going to be doing this picture. I would have put on nicer shoes. But this has all of us at the gang here at harvest time.
So that's Suzanne.
Yep,
that's Bobo, Kelly, me, and that was Babs.
That was Babs. And my 2-year-old grandson knows he can identify all the feet because this is also in a book we had made that he reads all the time. But the t-shirt is awesome. And the tote and t-shirt together is $39.90. Great gift for Mom. And the t-shirts are small to extra large. And then we also have in this goodie bag, which are separate, but they also make great gifts, our favorite gloves. Everybody knows that we live in these gloves. I wear them at home for my landscape. We wear them on the farm. These are the Nitrile Touch gloves, and they're lightweight. They have the nitrile grip on the hand, and they let you pick up anything. You can do any little fine thing. We forget we have them on. We have to take them off to make our sandwich if we remember. But these are so comfortable. They last really long. Throw them in the washing machine with your blue jeans, or just I wash them while they're on my hands and hang them to dry. The one pair is $7.95. 4-pack is $24.95. I have a large hand for a woman. I can't wear a pair of large gloves off the shelf. I have to search for extra large women's gloves. But this is a medium, so they're unisexed, so you can kind of gauge if you have a smaller hand, you'd want to go with a small or extra small if your mom is petite. So these are great. They come in different colors, and you don't get to choose the color, but all the colors are great. So those are the gloves, and then we have mine and Lisa's favorite hat. This is the pith helmet hat. And why do we love this? Well, I'll tell you what, the mail carriers knew what they were doing when they wear these to deliver the mail. This strap right here, not only does it have like a little sweatband, but it holds the hat off of your head so air can circulate. So it's like you're standing under a shade tree, guys. I mean, it is just the most amazing, cool thing. And it looks kind of cute too, don't you think?
And it's for big heads, even like mine.
Yes, it's adjustable, so it can adjust to a man's head or a woman's head. And it's $39.95, and it really is the best hat for keeping cool. I've tried other straw hats, everything, but this band holding it off of your head makes the world of difference. It's like standing under a shade tree. So get your hat for your mom. Water rolls right off of it. I've fallen off of a ladder, and it crushed the side of the hat, but it did not hurt my head, so it's a little safety there too. Next up, we have our tool bag. This is our favorite tool bag. It has a snap that adjusts, so you don't have to wear a hot leather belt or anything to put this on. You can put your clippers, your water, your phone, anything in here. And then we like to turn it around so that it's in the back so that we can bend over without being impeded. But it is perfect for anyone who spends time in the garden because you always want to have your phone and your water on hand. And the tool belt is $22.95. Again, a great gift Mom would love. All right, so next up we have the soil blocking kit, which Lisa's going to tell you all about.
Hey friends, isn't she great? All right, so back to seed starting and soil blocking. Because I know I say this all the time, but we don't say it enough. We seed start every single week from January right up through November. There's always stuff to be started, y'all. So the Soil Block Maker Kit has everything that you need to get started soil blocking. This is the small soil blocker, which is the one that I use the majority of the time. This makes 20 of the 3/4 inch blocks. The kit includes 5 of these reusable foam trays that we use from year to year. 3 sets of blocks fit on this little tray that's about 5 or 6 inches across and about 11 inches long. 5 of those. It includes wooden plant ID little stakes, the toothpicks and toothpick dispensers, and our seed pan. Why do we have the seed pan, y'all? This is aluminum and it doesn't hold any static electricity. So it includes that. Then it also includes a bag of the ready-made mix. This will make up to 5 to 600 of the small blocks. That little bag, and it's super heavy, y'all. Blocking mix is much denser. So this has everything you need in the mix already, and we do recommend that you sift it, but this is the ready-made mix. And the kit also includes my Seed Starting Made Easy online course, which takes you through the entire process, and it includes 3 free packs of seeds, and you can select either cool season or warm season seeds. You select that when you check out. Now, everything you see here is included in the kit, and the kit is $89.95. If you have a mom that is a gardener and whether she's a seed starter or not, if she's using another method, I'm telling you, she'll be thanking you for the rest of her gardening life. The Soil Block Maker Kit has everything they need to get started soil blocking, and it's just super space savvy and easy to do. Now, I was so glad to hear that we were featuring our label and marker bundle today. So this includes 12 of these 10 of these 18-inch wooden markers and 10 of the 12-inch marker plant label markers. I mean, I call them markers, but this is really the marker. This is our outdoor marking pen, which I love so much, but this is why I love it. Look what Tucker brought me this morning. This is one of those markers, and y'all, these are sweet. This is a sweet pea, Royal Mix. He took this from where the sweet peas were planted fall a year ago. So this stake has been out in my garden for like 18 months, and you can still clearly read that marker marked on this label. I'm telling you, this pen is the bomb. The whole bundle is $22.32, and that's about a 10% savings over purchasing all of these things separately. You gonna do this, sis?
Yep, I'll do the espresso can. So this is our favorite little watering can, one of our favorite little watering cans. It's beautiful. It's called the espresso watering can. And this works great when you're watering soil blocks because it has a gentle stream that you can water the side of your tray. But I love this as a little container. So I'm going to show you. We're going to measure how tall we think these need to be. So I'm going to cut these off about right here.
So sister, don't we always never cut it deep enough?
Yeah, we never cut it short enough. And of course, I should be pulling all of this greenery off. But look how precious that is. And you could cut it a little shorter too, but I kind of like it tall. But it's just beautiful to sit on your shelf if you're watering your indoor plants. You can just leave it sitting on your shelf to to be nearby. But it is $29.95 and it is stainless steel, holds about 2 cups of water, and perfect gift for mom. Put some flowers in it, take it to her, and she'll love it. All right, next up we have the Japanese hand hose. These are our favorite weeding tools. Why is that? They're really sharp and they cut through the soil. The way you use them is that you place it flat on the ground and then sink it down about an inch and a half down in the soil, and you pull it through. Obviously, you gotta have your hand like this. You pull it through and knock down all those little baby weed seedlings, and you don't disturb much soil, because you know what happens when you disturb the soil. It brings up more weed seeds. So guess what? Next week you have twice as many weeds to weed because of all of those seeds germinating. So what happens is after a few weeks of doing this just in the top of the surface, all of those seeds have germinated, so now you don't have any weeds left. The other way we use this is we pull a trough to plant seeds in, get big clumps of weeds up with the end because it's really, really sharp. And we does come right-handed and left-handed. Our niece Kelly was left-handed, so we had them make them in the left-handed model as well. So this is perfect gift for anyone, but if you know someone who's left-handed, they will love you for it, because you can't use the right-handed one if you're left-handed unless you want one for each hand. So the Japanese hand hoe, right or left hand, is $24.95. It has been that price forever, so take advantage of it before they catch up with the rest of the world and raise the price on us. So get one of those for yourself and for your mom. Next up, we have the Hori Hori garden knife. This I call the rock harvesting knife because that's what it's made for, to get down in the soil and cut. It has these serrated edges and it goes right through roots to separate perennials, and works really great. Perfect tool for any gardener, $46.95. Next up we have our little sod knife. I just took a couple of these home because I couldn't find them. These are the bomb diggity for harvesting greens, for cutting twine off of your tiller or your tractor. I like to cut bags of compost open with them. The serrated ginsu kind of edge on it stays sharp forever. Perfect gift. It's only $9.95, guys. Get a couple of these. Get one for you, one for mom. So now we have our dibbers. The dibbers are great for planting little baby plants or little baby bulbs in the soil. This is the tiny little one. Here's our actual one that we use. And it just makes a small hole. If you're planting through Bio 360, which we love and use and sell, you want to make the hole as small as you can so that the weed seeds around don't germinate because they've gotten light. So the smaller the hole, the better off you'll be. So the small one is $9.95, so cute. And I'm sorry, I was looking at the side knife. The mini is $7.95, even better. And then this is its big brother, the Big Dibber. And the Big Dibber actually has the measurements on it if you're planting bulbs and you have to plant them a certain depth. And the Big Dibber is $14.95. Again, perfect gifts. Next up, we have our tick key. Our tick key is perfect for any wiggling husbands, children, and dogs to get a tick off. I just used one the other day on my dog, and it's called a key because it has a hole. You can put it on your keychain so you always know where it is. You just slip this right over the little booger's head and pull back, and it lifts him out, head and all. So tick key, have a couple of them on hand for you and everybody, $9.95. The weather stick, we love the weather stick. I just put mine back up because it broke. The other day I had to glue the top back together. So this is the weather stick. It's made of balsam wood, like a divining rod, and you want to put it somewhere you can view it from the side. And when the weather is fair, it curls up like this, and when it's foul, the curls down, and I've seen it touch the post it was attached to. That's how far it bends. This is the perfect gift. It's so much fun to watch. Anybody will love to get this. $10.95. I mean, perfect to have a few of those on hand to be able to gift. Now Lisa's going to talk about her awesome books.
Hey friends. So, if you're on the fence about what to get for mom and you're not sure if she really is ready to dive in to maybe having a cutting garden, we have put together all 3 of my books. That would be Cool Flowers, Vegetables Love Flowers, and the newest, the Cut Flower Handbook, We've put all three of them together for about a 5% savings, so they're $74.98 for all three of them. And of course, I would love to sign them, especially to your mom. You can put in the comments when you're checking out exactly what you want me to write or to say, something sweet to my mama or whatever. You know, I would love to do that for you. And when you buy this triple pack, it is free shipping on these books if it's just this book only order. So we would love to have that. And this is only available in the app and just until supplies last with the stock that they have put over here. And so the Cut Flower Handbook is an incredible reference tool, which is kind of like the deeper dive on individual flowers as well as the whole cut flower concept, right? Vegetables Love Flowers is actually about the method, the way that I live with my garden, how I don't use pesticides, and just really gets them started. And then Cool Flowers is that deep dive or deeper dive on cool season hardy annuals and how to actually do that. So in addition to that, we've put together a couple of sets. So maybe Mom, you think you would love to have this book. Y'all, this book's images are just beautiful. So this is the Cut Flower Handbook and the Cut Flower Seed Collection. You get both of these for $47.95. And so that would just really get her started. And of course, you get the free resource when you purchase the book from us. Or if you think Mom is maybe not so much into cut flowers yet, she's got a little veggie garden and you want to introduce her, that's where Vegetables Love Flowers comes in, which really talks about why flowers benefit vegetables. And this set includes the Cut Flower Seed Collection also. These two are $43.90. And again, please put your notes about what you want me to actually sign if you want a special message to your mom or to you, whichever. Here's another really special seed collection. This is the Planet Pink, which all got started when I had breast cancer over a decade ago, and Suzanne and I put this together. This has 6 packs of seeds, has a diagram and some additional instructions inside, and that's a great way to start that conversation about why early detection is the key, y'all, which I'm the poster child for that. And this is perhaps one of the funnest seed collections, even if you don't cut it. This is the Sunflower Seed Collection, which also has a diagram, and then it has additional information or instructions inside. 6 individual packs. The seed collections are $22.95, and they are a great add-on or standalone gift to your mom. Now remember, if you want to be entered into our giveaway to possibly be pulled, hit the button now. Susie's brought it up, and I will be awarding a $25 store credit to one lucky person at the end of the show. All right, friends, before we dive into the flowers, remember, I buy seeds when I meet a flower. That's the point, right? You'll never remember to buy it later. So you buy seeds, and then you file them to the correct time that you're supposed to start it. And the desiccants are what we use to store our seeds and to keep them dry. You can get a 2-pack for $2.95 or a 10-pack for $9.95. And these just go in with your seeds and absorb any moisture. Now, I know last week, guys, if you were watching the show, I potted up some tomato plants, and I promised you that I would bring them back and let y'all kind of watch the progress. Would somebody hold this tray up here? Y'all, look at these babies. You got it? It's pretty heavy. Because what I wanted to do is they look kind of puny last week, right? And I'm just going to pull these apart, and I want y'all to see, look at these fabulous roots. And that's just from 1 week of growth. And these will be planted out probably next week. So, you know, potting up your tomatoes and peppers and eucalyptus, which is all that we really pot up, really grows an amazing transplant. And I just wanted to share those with you guys. All right, yep. So, Suzanne, do you want to just hand me the flowers?
Yeah, I was trying to get these.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. So our first flower up this week is our annual Baby's Breath. Y'all look at this. This is like miniature cosmos. These are all cool flowers, and I'm doing direct sown. Actually, these were transplanted out, and this is so different, if y'all can see that. how different the bloom is from the perennial baby's breath. And that is an early bloomer and totally and completely love it. And y'all, I had to share the very first bells of Ireland. Oh my gosh, y'all, they smell like apples. Just so very, very beautiful. Look at that. So really, really beautiful. And I want to just add that these are the Chinese forget-me-nots. I don't know if you remembered seeing them earlier in the season, how short they are. They're elongating as the days are getting longer and it is warming up. Look how beautiful. And the blue is about 4 weeks behind this usually, so we'll be coming with the blue. And these were direct sown, as were the bells of Ireland. And y'all, this is the flower that always stopped people at my booth when I was at the farmer's market. Look at this. This is corn cockle or agrostemma. This is the mix. See, there's a couple of purple ones that are already blooming. You can buy the solid colors, but this is the mix. And this is a super tall. I whacked off a lot of this, y'all. So that is agrostemma, and that was direct sown last fall, as was Buplurum, one of our favorite foliages. And this is super winter hardy. If you live in zone 5 or south, you should be fall planting Buplurum and then succession planting it. Love this so much for bouquet filler, and our florists love it for the very same question. All right, 2 others that I direct sow. This is Saponaria, or called soapwort, and this is the white beauty. I mean, y'all, this looks so very, very pretty. So pretty. Similar to the baby's breath, but look at it in pink. Direct sown. This is a really early bloomer. I mean, a great filler and a great just bouquet all by itself. Really love it.
Rose was asking, can you plant seeds for these now?
So that's a great question. Somebody's asking if you can plant the seeds for these now. Only if you live in Australia, which is the opposite season of us. These are all cool season hardy annuals, and it's too late for most of us now. These are seeds that you're gonna purchase, and you're gonna paper clip them according to when you're supposed to plant them for your area. And my books will clear all of that up for you. Most of it's either fall or very early spring. And here's another one that I direct sowed. Look how blue these are, y'all. These are Blue Boy Bachelor Buttons. It's the boy series in blue. Totally love these guys. And friends, this is how you're supposed to cut them. In bud. We love Bachelor Buttons. And then these are our Opus Snapdragons. Lots of variation in colors. Really love these. And snaps are really winter hardy too. These would be fall planted. So this means, y'all, if you're supposed to fall plant, you need to be getting busy with this in August. But if you don't have the seeds, you can't do that. This is Opus, one of our very, very favorites. Now I have some more Sweet William. This is that Sweet series. Sweet William is the type, and Sweet is the actual variety. And this is the white, the very earliest Sweet William to bloom in my garden. And we just have so much need for white flowers, right? And then look at this one, Black Cherry. Now this one I wouldn't plant a 100-foot row of, y'all, but it is great to have some to pop in next to the light colors. Really love it. And this is the Sweet William series, and look in coral. This is the earliest blooming one and has some great color. There's multiple colors in the app. There's other colors you can actually go in and see. And so the last Sweet William I'm going to show you today is, this is that Dynasty. Look at the colors, y'all. This is a wide branching bracket at the top. It's not real tight ball like those others. This is just a great bouquet filler and a pop of color. So this is the Dynasty mix. Now, guess what, y'all? Sweet peas are blooming. So I have 2 different ones I want to show you. First off, I'm showing you how I typically cut sweet peas. This is the vine, because I want a long enough stem to use it in a bouquet, right? And this is the hyacinth. That's white with a purple blush on it. If you've ever seen some other seed companies call it April in Paris, it's hyacinth. It's the most fragrant and for me, the most vigorous sweet pea. And you can see just how lovely this will be in a bouquet. So that's Hyacinth. This is Royal Mix. This mix has several colors in it. They're not all blooming yet. But again, I cut the vine and then use it in a bouquet. You can also cut individual blooms. It all just depends on what you're doing and what you're growing them for. But this is the Royal Mix. Those are my two favorite sweet peas. They're just super hardy, y'all. Y'all look, I've been talking about these all morning. This, my friends, is Cerinthe. Look at the stem length on these guys. This is early use foliage, then it blooms with these beautiful dark colored blooms. I mean, this is right in style now, y'all. This is going into a vase all by itself. I'm having a party tomorrow, and this is gonna be one of the highlights for that. That is Cerinthe. And y'all, guess what? Now, look at Bunny. I just wished y'all could feel them. They're like little bunny tails, y'all. There's no wonder it is the #1 seed that we sell is this. You can see they're just not really all very tall. Some of them are really tall, but most of them aren't. We just find uses for them. Bunny tails is a cool flower. This was fall planted by a transplant. Totally love this stuff. And then friends, look at this. This is the first color to start blooming in the Seeker Mix status. This is 2 of the blues. See, one's paler, and then there's purple, which is the darker one, I think. Status is a great cool flower, y'all. This is how we get early blooms and tall stems. This dries and looks just like this when it's a year old. Then I like to call this is a Mobium. I call this a cross between a straw flower and feverfew. This is an amazing bouquet builder. Love this little white bloom with the yellow inside. Really, really beautiful. And our calendula is coming up. You know, we were talking about how short a couple of my things were this year. We think we know why. It was really related to our winter as well as our attention or lack thereof. The calendula is definitely getting taller. Normally this is 18 inches tall, but the blooms are still speaking up, y'all. This is Ivory Princess, sorry. And these are really, really beautiful. These will be the centerpieces on my table tomorrow. And this is Pacific Beauties, and there's that orange I was telling you about last week. So Pacific Beauty has ivory in it, and a lot of yellows and golds and oranges. So it's a really nice mix, and we call these guys the zinnias of spring. All right, friends, now here's your lesson. This is Persian crest. Do not cut this when it's got that little white bloom on it. You're waiting for these seed pods. This is the whole point, right? To make it a beautiful filler. So this will actually be hung to dry. And this is a great lime green foliage filler. And that's Persian crest. And this too was fall planted by transplants. And look, here's a new one. You want to get on this wait list if you want to get in on this. This is green dragon crest. Thank you, Daniel of Petal Pickers. Daniel said, Lisa, I cannot believe you don't grow this. And he is right. Look how awesome. And if you can see, there's still a little bit of bloom at the top. It's not the blooms we're after, y'all. It's the little seed pods that follow the blooms that make this a super valuable. So if you want to be notified as soon as we have the seeds in stock, get on that wait list now. Now, friends, it's time to wrap it up. And I just want to remind you that I'm going to do a little Q&A at the very end, so stick around for that if you'd like to. And I just want to remind everybody, we have a big, deep and wide website. It's thegardenersworkshop.com. And over there, you're going to find videos and blogs. You can connect with both of our podcasts. We have 2. We have Field and Garden, and then we also have Seed Talk with Lisa and Lane. For instance, guess what yesterday's episode was? Bunny tails, and talking about how it's a cool flower, grass. So check that out wherever you like to listen to podcasts, or you can always find it on our website. And I am hosting Ask a Flower Farmer this Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern Time. That's over on Instagram on our page. And would love for you to come over there. And if you have a burning question that's not getting answered here because we don't have enough time, that's the place. Get there early and post your question immediately. And I'll do my best to answer it for you. And then remember, friends, meet you back here next Friday. Same place, same time. 12 o'clock Eastern time inside the app where you get the most fun. And friends, guess what? We have a winner. And I hope you are here, friends, because you have to be here to claim your prize. And as soon as you comment and say, I'm here, the girls will put a $25 store credit in your cart ready and waiting for you. And so the winner of our $25 giveaway is Mackenzie Reed. Mackenzie, if you are here, give us a big old shout out. And, you know, I hope you're here because I totally love giving this away. And y'all, we have more people having babies and getting married in my family. My little nephew just asked a Mackenzie to marry him yesterday. So that's becoming one of our family names. All right, Mackenzie, if you're here, give us a big old shout out. Oh, she's here. Congratulations, Mackenzie. So Suzanne or Jessie or Susie or Melanie, all the people here working, one of them is going to put a store credit in your cart. So when you go to check out, it'll be there ready and waiting for you. I mean, what a great way to get the books. What a great way to get a Mother's Day gift. I could just think of all kinds of fun stuff. All right, so let's take a look at a couple of questions. All right, so I already see 3 that I want to talk about. All right. Are Sweet William cut and cut again? Do you typically get a second flush? I'm in zone 8. That 100% depends on the variety, I think, where you are and what your conditions are like and your skill of growing. So I don't consider most of them, I don't count on them. They have to really get good moisture. We are not really good with given plants that need extra care to get a result from them from doing that. So I plan on cutting them. I mean, we usually cut them over a couple, 2 or 3 week period, but oftentimes we succession plant. So a new planting that has more vigor and is easier to come along. Amazon is your best bet. Sweet is not a good one for that in my opinion. It's early. And anyway, so Amazon would be the only one, and it really depends on if you're having a hot summer quick, it isn't going to work. If it's not, then you might.
And Amazon is the variety.
And Amazon is the name of the series of Sweet William. Sweet William is so confusing, y'all. I talk about this in the Cut Flower Handbook. I mean, did they try to confuse us? How could one family of plants have perennials, biennials, and annuals? All of them are dianthus. So I understand why you're confused. But Amazon, the Sweet William, is the best bet. All right. What was the other one I was thinking? All right. Go back up just a little bit. There you go. Can I leave the CVB in and quick dip in the harvesting bucket until I'm ready to arrange the flowers? Someone asks. Well, that depends on how long are you talking about. So first off, CVB in, the flowers need to be in that for at least 4 hours to get benefit, but you can leave them up to 72 hours. So that's 3 days, right? So that's a really nice wide window. That's what really makes it easy to use in the way that we use it. Quick dip, yes. I mean, the same kind of deal. It needs to be in there from what we experienced here. I'm telling y'all, we watched that annual's baby's breath come back to life. So I would say, yes, if you're going to arrange within 2 to 3 days, that should be fine to do that.
Shout out to Linda. Thank you, Linda. She says, a little embarrassing, but I hadn't been listening to the various podcasts, etc., because I met TGW via Shopping Show. Wow, I've been missing so much good information. So for anyone else, go find the podcast. Thanks, Linda.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Linda, so much. We do understand that we have so much information. I'm telling you, friends, you could build a flower farming or a backyard empire growing cut flowers from all the resources that we have for you. It's just that most people don't have much luck poking around and pulling them all out. You just have to go in there and look and take some time. So thank you, Linda, for that really big shout out. All right. So I'm also going to answer, let's see which one. Did you put the potted up tomatoes under light? For sure. Friends, you cannot grow healthy transplants indoors without a grow light. You can find grow lights over on our big website, thegardenersworkshop.com. 16 to 18 hours of light a day is what keeps them stocky, green, and growing. All right, so the last question I'm going to take, and I'm going to put two together. Any tips for growing bells of Ireland? She had trouble with the seeds, and also bupleurum wouldn't germinate for me. Friends, I can almost promise you, you have to read the instructions with the seed. We put it on our seed packets. It's on our website, and it's in my books that reference those flowers. Bells of Ireland, for instance, we recommend soaking the seed at least for a few hours before you plant it. And Bells of Ireland, if memory serves me right, does not get covered with soil. And I think people immediately cover it with soil because it's kind of a big looking little seed, right? So you need to just revisit the instructions, but we direct sow them outdoors in the garden after we've soaked them, and we plant them in the fall. Bupleurum, again, oftentimes people just don't read. Bupleurum needs to be covered out in the garden. It needs darkness to germinate, and it likes cool temperatures. It is not, if you planted it in the fall, and you may have planted it too early in the fall when the days are still too hot, that will inhibit good germination. So I just want to say, I know you have to do it. I had to do it, y'all. I still do it. I take the Cool Flower book literally with me out to the garden when I'm direct sowing the few things that I direct sow out in the garden. You have to look at the resources and take them in. It's not just magic. You're not born knowing this stuff, right? So friends, that's a wrap. And thank you for joining me. And remember, all the Mother's Day offers are available until Sunday at 8 a.m. or until they sell out. And friends, get your orders in early so you get your gifts in time for Mother's Day. And there is no greater gift to give your mom than a little cutting garden seed collection and a book on how to do it. I'm telling you, it could change her life. Literally, that's what happened to me. Till we meet again, friends. Ciao.